Hey babe, welcome back. If you're new here, welcome. I am Christina DiStefano and I'm very excited to bring this week's subject to you. I don't know about you, but it has been a long, cold winter, especially like here in New York City. It's just like January felt like the longest month, and we still have snow on the ground here and we still have really, really cold temperatures. It's right around this time, end of January, beginning of February, that I start getting, I guess, spring fever, or at least, let me put it this way. I think the thing that helps carry me through the rest of the winter here in New York and the early spring is thinking about and planning my spring kind of like upgrades or my spring refresh. I'm going to share with you 6 easy upgrades that you can do in your home that will help to kind of refresh the mood and give you that sense of optimism. I think there's a lot of emotional impact in each one of these tips that I'm going to give you. I'll give you the reason why, as well as my feelings around how that affects you emotionally. Home, like I've said before, is that place, if you nurture home, it will nurture you back. And by what that means to me is that when you take time to invest in your home, when you take time to invest in the way things look and feel in your home with that intention of creating a space that serves you, creating a space that is aligned with like the life that you want to live, that's nurturing your home. That's putting your time, energy, your effort, and even your dollars into your home, knowing that that is a good investment of your time, your energy, and your dollars. Because your home, when you nurture it, it nurtures you right back. It creates an energy, it creates a feeling for you of that home is your haven, that this is your special place in the world, that is all your own, that you are safe, that you create a cozy cocoon or an airy atmosphere, whatever it is that you need to serve you, to like get up every morning, to go to work, to do all the things you do, to be a place for you to come home at night and feel really good. So I hope these tips will help you. Let's go ahead and jump into them. All right, so adding beauty and focusing on aesthetics in your home doesn't have to be about major changes and renovations. I think if you've been following this channel for a while, you understand that I'm a big advocate of the power of paint and decor to transform your space. Not everyone can afford renovations. And so these, through the power of paint, color, fabric, decor, that is how you, and furniture, that is how you can transform a space without actually renovating a space. So it's basically like a no reno renovation. And if you saw our little 1-year anniversary video, you will see exactly what I'm talking about. We did a lot of DIY around this house, and it just came down to paint and decor really, and then some minor things that Jerry did. But there is a lot of power in small changes. So let's jump into the first one. The first one is updating your light fixtures. So one thing I will say about a light fixture, it can feel like a centerpiece. And updating that sort of centerpiece, I've heard of people referring to it as like the jewelry of the home. I look at it like the cake topper. You know, it's like that little extra boost to a room that can really transform it. Also, along with that comes upgrading your lighting. So that way, lighting as in your light bulbs. So you've heard me talk about this before. And if you need a little bit more of an in-depth sort of understanding of the impact of lighting in your home and how to decorate with lighting, definitely check out the Kiss Your Lighting Worries Goodbye video. I think that's what I called it, but I'll link it here so you can check it out, and I'll link it in the description. But the temperature of the light is huge too. So go look around your home. Are there any fixtures that are dated? Is there a fixture that you could bring in that could really add some emotional impact to your room, that could create that airy or cozy feeling that you're looking for? So maybe you need to modernize your space a little bit more. Maybe you need to sort of make it feel like more now instead of like what you've had before, the dated fixtures and things like that. So take a look at those things and see where can you make these upgrades. So I like the first image I'm sharing with you, okay, so this one caught my eye because this was like some kind of DIY light fixture thing. And it reminded me so much of what I was dealing with the light fixture here in this dining room. This was a fixture that we got when we first moved in. We bought the house. It was just a weekend house, and we were just trying to just put things in it to get it livable, you know? And then as we spent a few more weekends, we were feeling as though, why don't we just invest a little bit more of our energy so we can make this place aesthetically pleasing to us as well? So the light fixture was one of those very first pieces that we bought. And while it's a fine fixture, totally fine, it fits our aesthetic, it's just, I would like something upgraded, but I don't want to spend that upgraded price right now because I know we'll eventually renovate our home. And with that will come a totally different dining room experience, which means I don't want to invest in an expensive light fixture when the dining room will change. So I thought to myself, how can I upgrade this current light fixture? One, we have it on a dimmer and the light is warm, but it just always felt like too much light. So I just made a simple purchase and bought some little mini chandelier lampshades that clip right onto the light bulbs, and it transformed the feeling of this light fixture. So maybe it's a change like that. This one, I think they actually bought the shades and they also painted the fixture. It's little things that have big impact. And also sometimes you have to work with what you have. So then that requires you to dig in and allow your creativity to come through. But this one really caught my eye. I just want to send a huge thank you to Michaela and Dawn for sending me this little My July starter kit. Look how beautiful the packaging is. Look at this postcard. So Michaela is someone who follows the channel, and she reached out to me on Instagram because I'm always looking to partner and collaborate with people that have sustainable product lines, people that create businesses that are aligned with my own personal values. And so Michaela reached out to me and sent me these products, and I'm so happy to receive them because it actually kind of aligned with this video really well because the smell, like, okay, first of all, the ingredients are incredible. The smell is so therapeutic, and I feel like when we're in this cold weather, I need something that feels natural, that feels kind of healthy, that feels like and smells in a way that calms my nervous system, because as someone who deals with anxiety, anything I use on my body, I'm looking to find something that is natural and that is calming to my nervous system. So these products are that, but not only that, but they're amazing on your skin. This goldmine oil is, oh my God, it just smells so good. So, and also she sent us this night song for Jerry and I to share as well. So anyway, I want to send a shout out to Michaela and just say thank you so much for sending me these products. I will include the link below, but I love what she says here on the card because there's like this story of how My July started. And she says, we're on a mission to take care of our bodies, skin, and the planet. I love that. All right, let's get back to the video. It is time to upgrade your pillows and your blankets. So that is something that if you are able to do seasonally, that's great. But I'm just talking about just in general. Have you used the same throw blanket and the same pillows on your sofa or on your bed for the last couple years? Is it time to upgrade these? Is it time to refresh these? Is it time to go for a new look? Changing out your pillows, whether on your bed or on your sofa, can give a completely different feeling to your room. It also gives you a feeling of something fresh and something new, which I feel like this time of the year, this like kind of early February time of year when the holidays are over and it's like, what do we really have to look forward to? I guess Valentine's Day if you're a Valentine's Day person, but what do we really have to look forward to other than spring? So you need to inject some surprise, some new things into your life. And then changing out your pillows and your throws are an inexpensive way to do this. And also find something that's more aesthetically pleasing and more aesthetically aligned with your decor style or the direction you're trying to move. These are the smaller investments that you can spend your money on that can get a lot of mileage, but can also help you inspire as you start to transform that room into something more. Here's a what not to do. So this to me is no way to live. There's nothing on the walls. You have that ceiling, you have a clothing rack, and you have all white bedding. That's why I just wanted to throw this in here so you could see the significance, the emotional significance of your decor. The emotional significance of injecting some bedding, some throw blankets, some pillows, lighting, like all those things matter so much. And when you see an example of it without, you can feel the difference. I saw this image and I'm like, I just have to throw that in because that is like, that to me feels sad. That person needs a little bit of love and they need to nurture this bedroom so they can get a really good night's sleep. That's the first thing I thought of. Also, the thing to think about with the textiles and the blankets and the throws and, upgrading your bedding, these provide a tactile feel. They provide a feeling of warmth and of comfort, a softness, a coziness that helps to make you feel comforted in your home. So these are really important. That image did not feel like a comforting place. So you feel the emotional impact of those items, of what those items could have on your home. You feel it when you see it without, like especially, that's when you really see it. That's when you can feel the difference. When you see it without, that's when you recognize just how much emotion is behind all these pieces that you bring into your home. Little changes like this change the way your home feels. That room would not take much. Some paint, some pillows, maybe some artwork, some nice lighting, boom. A comforting bedroom, a cozy cocoon, if you will. Next one up is upgrading your tableware. So let's let this be the year that we use our nice dishes. Let's let this be the year that we actually set our table when we have dinner and we take time to eat a little bit slower. I know we are all very busy, but there's something really amazing about just taking a little bit of time to set up your table. One thing that Jerry does, which as the dishwasher is a little annoying to me, but I appreciate it, and so I understand, is he serves, like he'll make dinner and he'll use different dishes to serve different types of food. Like, so we'll have different elements of our food. We might have like pizza and salad and, a little side of something or some extra cheese. And he'll put these things in really nice dishes. He'll put the pizza, he'll cut it and put it on a cutting board, and he'll set up our table really nice. And this is previously, like before I met him, I was so busy. I would just kind of eat standing in the kitchen, like at the counter in my apartment in the East Village. For me, that was like a quick dinner because I was always on the go. But when I met him and when we moved in together and ultimately got married, he really brought that in, and that helped improve my life significantly. So let this be the year that you start to set your table, that you maybe buy that tablecloth or buy some new linens, like linen napkins, or some new dishes, or maybe you just buy a couple new serving dishes that upgrade your dinner or breakfast or lunch experience, your dining experience. Eating on aesthetically pleasing dishes or using beautiful cutlery, it all has a subconscious impact on you. These are just little things, and I'm not saying you have to go out and spend a fortune on these types of things. They're little things. You could even find beautiful things at the thrift store. But the whole point is when you find things that kind of speak to your soul, things that you see and aesthetically please you, they change the way you experience things. They change the way you experience dinner. They change the way you experience your meal, which in turn changes the way you see life, which in turn changes the way you experience life. These little things really do have a big impact in your quality of life. So it's worth investing in. It's little things like that. This is a time to upgrade your cutlery. And maybe you want to go all out. Maybe you have been wanting something that is a little more specific, a little more aesthetically driven. Just matching your cutlery is a big deal. to some people, because some people just don't have that, because cutlery is one of those things that you just kind of accumulate over the years and it becomes like an afterthought. You don't really think about it too much. But when you have a nice set of cutlery, it is really special when you're using it for dinner, because it's just, now you can like place the cutlery on the napkin, and it's just another part of setting that table. Another thing is upgrading your curtains. So this is a time of the year where I want to let in more light. So with the exception of our bedroom, the other rooms, I like linen drapes, because this is the time of the year when I'm so over the dark days of winter and I want to allow in as much light as possible. And maybe those are sheers or linen, something that allows more light to come in. Those will kind of change how you feel. I think the more light you allow in and the more you start to lighten it up, because if you think about end of summer going into fall, we're welcoming in the dark. You know, we're welcoming in those like cooler, cozier holiday months with lots of candles and things like that. And then as we kind of move along that timeline and we get over the holidays, and now we're in January, which always feels like the longest month in the world. And then here we are today, we're like in February. Then it's time to, you know, we start to kind of get tired of the darker days. So it's time to then now let in more of the natural light, embrace as much of the natural light as possible. So you can do that through sheers, through changing out into maybe some Roman shades. I also like the idea of taking linen curtains and layering them with the Roman shade underneath, like something in a natural material. I like the way that looks. So maybe this is a time to start looking at your window treatments and looking at how you can change those out. Freshening up your window treatments has a way of completely transforming a wall. It is just as powerful as painting a room, your window treatments, because you can, if maybe you're a neutral person, but you can also inject in some patterns, some florals, some stripes that can completely change the way your room feels. So these can then become a focal point, whereas like a neutral sheer just may blend into the wall and just kind of support the space. You can then shift the focal point to maybe being a beautiful pattern window treatment or some beautiful curtains, beautiful Roman shades, things like that. There's so many options out there available to you. The emotional impact of the lighter and the airier curtains this time of year is it brings in the light. It creates a lightness when we've been feeling like the weight of winter for so long. So there's that sort of inspiration and this optimism that comes with spring. And so it's kind of like welcoming in spring, maybe just a little early, but it's never too early to kind of welcome in spring, especially this time of the year when it's time to change things up. Like we need to put a change in our daily lives. So what better way to do that than to change up your drapes and bring in a little more light. Lastly, it's time to look at your doormat, because maybe your doormat has been snowed on, stepped on, maybe it's gone through multiple years of use. So it's time to upgrade that. This is an opportunity to welcome your guests in, but also when you're coming home, you want your home to feel tended to, not neglected. So if you have a nice fresh doormat, something that is, you know, reflective of your personality, whether it's something a little more classic and clean, like a jute doormat, or maybe you're injecting some color, some patterns, some cute little phrases and things like that. A new, fresh doormat is a great way to just kind of change the first thing you see when you walk into your home. The emotional impact of that is that it creates a positive impact as you're coming home. You're welcomed home. It also fosters a sense of pride in your home. So if your doormat is like all banged up and ratty, it's time to change that out. Have a feeling of pride in your home. Change out a doormat. It might cost you $20 to $50. It could be more depending on what you get, but it's a small investment to show that you take pride in your home. All right, everyone. On that note, I want to say sending you so much love from New York. I've got a special surprise coming up for you in a couple weeks. I cannot wait to share it. I'm trying not to share it with you now. It's really hard, but stay tuned for that. All right, sending you so much love from New York, from Pound Ridge. Mwah.